You got the job, the one you spent years working toward. The offer letter says $100,000 a year. You read it twice. You feel like you made it. Then 6 months pass, and something is wrong. You are paying rent, you are paying the car, you are paying insurance, groceries, subscriptions, student loans. You are doing everything right, and somehow, every month, you are looking at your bank account wondering where it went. You are not reckless, you are not irresponsible, you're not buying boats or taking spontaneous trips to Bali. You are just running out. And here's what nobody tells you. That feeling is not a personal failure, it is math. Specifically, it is what happens when the number on your offer letter stopped meaning what it used to mean. $100,000 sounds like a lot because for most of American history, it was. In 1985, a household earning $100,000 was genuinely wealthy. Top 15% of earners, comfortable house, family vacations, retirement savings on autopilot. By 2000, it was still solidly upper middle class, not rich, but stable, breathing room. By 2015, analysts started writing think pieces about how $100,000 in San Francisco or New York barely covered a modest life. Now it's 2026, and in almost every major metro in America, $100,000 puts you somewhere between stressed and treading water. The number did not change. Everything around it did. Here's the mechanism. Inflation is not new, but the inflation of the past 4 years hit the specific things that a working professional cannot avoid. Not flat-screen televisions, not clothes, not the things economists sometimes use to say inflation is under control. It hit rent, it hit groceries, it hit insurance, it hit childcare. It hit the unglamorous, non-optional parts of a modern life. Between 2020 and 2026, average rent in major American cities increased somewhere between 40 and 70%, depending on where you live. Grocery costs rose over 25%. Health insurance premiums climbed again, and the cost of owning a home, between prices and mortgage rates, roughly doubled for a first-time buyer compared to 2019. Your salary probably went up, but it almost certainly did not go up 40 to 70%. So every year, quietly, without a headline, you got a pay cut, the kind that does not show up in your contract. Now layer in taxes. $100,000 gross sounds like $100,000. It is not. After federal income tax, Social Security, Medicare, and state taxes in most states, you are taking home somewhere between $62,000 and $70,000 a year. That's roughly $5,000 to $6,000 a month hitting your account. If you live in California or New York, it's closer to $58,000, under $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month in a city where the average one-bedroom apartment runs $2,200. That's 44% of your take-home before you eat, before you drive, before you exist in any other way. The federal poverty line for a single person in 2026 is around $15,000. Nobody is saying $100,000 puts you near poverty, but the distance between those two numbers and the life they actually buy is a lot smaller than it used to be, and it's shrinking every year. There's also a quieter tax that almost nobody talks about: lifestyle infrastructure. This is the modern cost of being a functional adult with a professional life. Internet, a phone that works, a reliable car, or the cost of living close enough to not need one, a gym, or some form of staying healthy enough to keep working, professional clothes, LinkedIn, the occasional conference or course to stay current in your field. None of these feel like luxuries. None of them show up in classic definitions of poverty, but together they can run $800 to $1,500 a month before you have spent a single dollar on food or rent. This is the layer that people earning $40,000 a year 10 years ago did not have, and now it's the baseline. Here's the irony. $100,000 is still aspirational. It still functions as a benchmark for success in the cultural conversation. Job postings advertise it. Relatives ask if you're making it yet. It still means something symbolically. But the economy that produced that symbol has shifted underneath it. The cost structure of modern life has reorganized around a much higher number, and yet the $100,000 milestone sits there, unchanged, still glowing like a landmark that has slowly been surrounded by floodwater. Meanwhile, the wealth gap above you has widened dramatically. The people who own things, equity, property, businesses, are seeing their net worth inflate alongside asset prices. The people who earn salaries are just running to keep up with a treadmill that keeps getting faster. Earning is not the same as building, and $100,000 buys you a very comfortable treadmill. So what does this mean at scale? It means the definition of financial stability has quietly shifted upward, and very few institutions have acknowledged it. Universities still market degrees with salary outcome data anchored to this number. Financial advisors still use it as a target. Cultural narratives still treat it as a rival. But the people living it know the truth. And there's a broader question sitting underneath all of this. If $100,000 no longer reliably buys stability in the places where most professional jobs exist, what number does, and who gets to earn it? Because the treadmill does not slow down while you figure that out.